Did you tag me in Twitter?
Yep, I just put the post right now,
Awesome.
and we're live.
GMGM.
We should be live. Let me double check
That is always the big question.
because I'm on multiple browser.
We are.
You see it? All right,
Yeah,
cool.
we are. We are. So
I got my new streaming PC built, but I just my last stream on my old 1080 Ti. I'm using one of these cards I've had for like the last 5 years.
nice. Okay.
It's in my computer. Like it's pretty good encoder. So your name's PlayerOneTaco.
It
Uh,
is.
how long have you been a developer?
Um, I like full coding. I started um like back in like the 90s.
The
Learning
90s.
basic. Um, and when I realized you could create games on a TI-83 plus calculator is when I sort of started. I did a little bit more before that, but yeah.
Pretty cool. You experiment with Grok AI or any AI try to build any games?
Not no, I use Venice for my AI. Um, haven't really had the time for, vibe coding a game out or anything like that, but yeah. You?
Yep. It is a pretty fun experiment so far. The hardest part was making my character model and animations.
Okay. Nice.
But that's something you can pay real people to do, and they do a really good job at it, and the AI does a really good job taking your animations and doing stuff with it.
You can do some really cool stuff where you're making like asking it to make sprites for you for a character, like it'll make all your frames for like a pixelated game. Or if
Yeah.
you're just wanting to do some design piece, sort of fun.
I it's funny. I saw you before in I think Bangkok, and now I saw you again at the Bitcoin conference. But before that, I saw you on Pumped Out Fun. Just I was browsing live streams. I was like, oh, they added live streams back. Let me look through, and I saw your face. I clicked on probably 7 people before you. I was like, oh, this guy looks like a developer. Let me watch his stream for at least 10 minutes. And
Yeah.
I saw you doing development stuff on your live stream. So I was like, okay, let me investigate his token research.
Yeah.
So you're not an anonymous guy from out of the country. You're like a real human being.
Yeah.
Can you prove you're not AI? How many fingers do you have? 5 or 6?
I have 11. Wait, but
Okay.
my thumb does this. Does your thumb do that?
My thumb does something better.
Ooh.
My thumb can go all the way inside.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm down for that.
So when you made Crime Token, what was your inspiration behind it?
So the initial inspiration behind crime turned out to being too much paranoia on my piece of being burned. But we all know who Sahil is, right?
I don't
And
know.
oh, okay. For those that don't know who Sahil is this individual that runs in high circles or B and C list celebrity circles. Um, Working to, if he was trying to do good, he would be amazing. But he literally gets a hold of, semi-celebrity Twitter accounts and gets them to launch a token on Pump Fund and attempting, with the words like, I'm going to bring on my community. But they don't tell anything about how to get into Solana and their ecosystem. They don't say like, hey, here is a wallet you can download. You need to buy Sol to be able to buy this token. You know, they just drop a contract address. And
Oh.
and who is that geared like, and you look at that from everyone from like Scottie Pippen, Caitlyn Jenner, Mother, Iggy, to Jason Derulo to 50 other, C and D list celebrities. And so they always, all of the tweets sort of follow a same little formula. Let me ask you a question type of thing, and and then the next is like base. The second follow up is like base or Solana. And then you're like, all right, the rug is coming. And so I don't follow Snoop Dogg. I didn't follow Snoop Dogg. And it popped up on my timeline where he was like, let me ask you a question. And I was like, I retweeted it. I was like, here we go again. Sahil has another account, and we then watched how that, we watched his next tweet come out, where it was, let me ask you a question. Is it a crime? And I was like, they're going to be launching a token called Crime. I went to Block Explorer, both on Base, Index Screener, and Bird Eye, and I hadn't seen a Crime token being created yet. So I was like, okay, I can front run this. And so I literally went and made a Crime token on Pump Fun, under the whole guise of like, all right, let's take the air out of this. My token, my marketing skill reach isn't like Sahil having a D-list celebrity, retweeting a contract address, but I can at least make a token that won't rug, and so that's sort of what I did. Launched Crime, initially bought up around 20% or so of the supply.
In the beginning, like one buy or multiple buys?
One buy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no. I don't do this bundled thing. I don't go and like send sold to other wallets and run a bot on things. Like, one, that's way too much work, when you're trying to do something right. Two, that sort of defeats the purpose of everything, of someone getting in early and making money, and so that's the whole idea of blockchain. That's one of the main principles of blockchain: not making money, but having control over your finances, and the ability to either win or lose. And so we see that sort of going where, it's interesting in the aspect of all of the things you have to do for a token launch when you're launching on Pump Fund versus launching a token that you own the total supply of. They're two different things. Like, if I own the total supply of a token, I can go create a liquidity pool and I can burn all the LP. I can keep some of the tokens for marketing or other things like that. But with Pump Fund, you have to go buy your tokens that you want to have for later on or anything like that. So ended up buying 20-ish%, burned right away around 4% or so. We took, I think, about 16% and paired it to Sol and made a liquidity pool on Meteora and burned that LP. And then we, or as we like to say in the crime, we locked it away. You commit a crime, you get locked away. Because that's the whole idea behind crime was, locking away, the front running, of people getting rubbed on something. And so what we basically have done so far is buy more supply, either lock it away, or burn it. Those are basically we have about maybe, I think, 90 million worth of crime in our marketing wallet. And so all transfers from my wallet to another wallet have just been our LP wallet. I sort of announced that to the crime family on Telegram whenever I'm moving it back and forth. Because one of the things I really work to do is be transparent on that. Blockchain is transparent, but just like sort of like head things off on the front of it. So that was how crime initially started, was thinking we were front running Sahil. And then Snoop Dogg turns around and drops an album instead called Is It a Crime?
Did you listen to the album?
I have not yet. I've listened to like 2 songs yet so far. That's about it.
I haven't heard it either.
So
that's funny.
yeah. So then I had to like, all right, well, does this die? You know? And I don't like, things that I plan on doing something with. I don't like to, I might get distracted by other things. I might have actual work I have to do that I do day to day. Like I had to just travel to Las Vegas for Bitcoin Las Vegas, DNA House, Tokenize, and Bid Angels. And then right after Vegas, I had to fly to New York for a day to speak at a university. Then I had to fly back home. And then next week I fly to Singapore. So it's busy.
I bet. At the Bitcoin conference, did you tell anybody about your crime token? Or you told a few?
I told a few people, like a few friends. And we actually sponsored, there was Bitcoin Ben's shitcoin conference. So Bitcoin Ben, he has I don't want to call them facilities or art galleries, multi-purpose use spaces in different cities and stuff like that. He has one in Dallas, he has one in Las Vegas. So they, we're making a little conference of, people that love shitcoiners. So Crime sponsored that via, we did 1 million tokens locked over a year, vested, so they can go claim their tokens anytime, like by the minute, but it's 1 million tokens locked up for a year,
Okay.
We've hired a few promoters on a couple different things just for like back end multi-language Telegram stuff, where we've done the same thing where you've locked up, locked up 1 million crime for a few months, and we've actually had a couple where we've canceled contracts with them as well. People say they're going to do something and then they just don't. And it's really funny. You can, how quickly people read a message. They'll be very quick to DM you and say, "Hey, I have a marketing proposal for you," and you respond, "Sure, this is the terms," and then they just keep talking like you didn't say a single thing. You're like, I know you're copying and pasting from your scam pad, but come on.
Yeah, I imagine that part of development's hard, dealing with scammers or the bots, chat bots.
Yeah, and it's it's a fun thing. So we got, we've slowly built up the community. I think we have like around 150 plus holders, maybe 168. I think last time I looked at SoulScan. But I also just did another big buy and burn. And I think we've now total burned 6.66%.
Pretty good.
I think.
There's an update to Pump.Fun as well, right? So as creator, once you surpass like 1 million trading volume, you get like $5,000, right?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know about that new thing? So when the Pump.Fun, instead of graduating to Radium, now it graduates to Pump Swap.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned token creators, they get like $5,000 for every 10 million trading volume.
Yeah.
So that may be something you might want to look into.
Yeah.
And you want to get surprised one day, like, oh, where did this money come from in my wallet?
I would rather get surprised by that. Yeah.
And so your token's on Solana. You launched it on Pump.fun. It's still there.
Mhm.
What do you think about the token that Pump.fun is going to launch?
I think it brings about get it and dump it. You know, that'll be, you know, this is sort of, they're looking at a huge valuation, you
4
know.
billion.
Yeah. And
Let me do the math here. 4 billion. What was their revenue? Was it 100 million per week or month? I heard the
it
guys
depends.
speak.
It's anywhere around right around $1 million a day.
$1 million per day.
Mm-hmm. On average. Some days a lot more.
Oh God, that's like 10 years. 10 years to get 4 billion back because they're capped right now. It's hard to surpass this number.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think on average it's actually pretty decent. Anywhere from 3 to 10, you know, on the weekends and stuff like that. So there's been some accounts that do a lot of, but so the things that I've seen, what they're going to be really targeting is creators, you know, people doing streaming, um, token creators that have met bond and not rugged, meaning the dev wallet either still holds or is burned. And so,
Do they put burn transactions on the Pump.fun page now?
no, they don't actually. And
Oh, that's devastating.
the reason I know this is last year or earlier this year. So I've created 4 tokens on Pump Fun. My first one was Taco. It was basically for my daily show. It was when Pump Fun first launched. I was basically doing a how-to video, how to show. That token took close to 8 months to bond. You know,
Wow, 8 months.
Because I literally I was like, no reason, just tacos. And I was literally flying on a plane to San Juan to go speak at Blockchain Puerto Rico in December. And while I was on the plane, some Chinese trading group found the token and decided to pump it. And they ran it up to like 350K, you know, and then there was a lot of people expecting me to do something. And so what I did is I had zero plans to do anything with that token. That was a straight teach you how to do something to video token, you know? So what I did then is I took 16 Sol and I burned it to the taco that I had and in a Meteora LP pool, and I burned that LP and I locked it away that way. And I bought the taco there sort of at the top, you know, I top blasted the token. So that way, anyone who had bought before me could at least get out more than they put in, you know, slightly, or what they put in, because um, I didn't know what was going on. You know, I didn't know the trading group behind it, you know, stuff like that, you know, things like that out of the blue sometimes really suspicious to me. So that was the best thing I thought I could do, you know, buy a bunch of it and then burn it, you know, bond it to Sol in a Meteora pool. That way people could have an exit liquidity for it and provide that exit liquidity for them to get out of it. And that's sort of what I did there. The next token I launched was during Christmas time, during UFD, when UFD first launched. And I found Ron's base. I found UFD when it was still 4 or 5 digits. Like I'll say 5 digits.
Very low.
You know, like within an hour, not even an hour of him making it, because I was busy, you know, in the washroom, and I was like, huh, unicorn fart dust. You know, and then I tooted a little bit, and I was like, I'm buying it. So, you know, and that turned out to being a really good casino play. And then once it started to take off, went and provided liquidity for it on Meteora and on Radium, and you know, then just, you know, collected fees. And so then that during that phase, everyone was asking Ron for like his other, like, what's his cat's name? You know, Jasper, and you know, they all were all the fake tokens were trying to take over, and so I literally made a token called like Jasper the cat says don't buy this, or something like that. You know, I would have to check on Pump Fun, and
we traded Jasper in my Discord.
okay,
It was pretty funny.
yeah,
It did pretty well for like the first week.
there was one Jasper that actually had legs and like took off and wasn't, you know, wasn't behind a you know, being a rug pull. And but to me, sometimes in derivatives, with when a project is so new, the reason people launch new tokens as a derivative is they want to get in when there's 8 zeros and a 1.
Correct.
You know, not 4 zeros or 2 zeros and a 1. So rather than putting time and effort to something that's already there that would then just pump even more, they want to go get into some random thing and try to lose a couple zeros, you know, which, how much money was extracted during that? You know, a lot, I am assuming. And so, yeah, so there was that token. That token hasn't had bond. I either still have that token or I burned it. I think I still have it in my wallet. So, because I have like over 5,000 tokens in my wallet, different tokens in my wallet.
A lot of tokens now,
dude. They're, you know, 90% of them are, you know, zero balance. You got 10 million tokens with a zero balance.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Oh, test burn, TB. Do you remember Berwick Law when they were trying to, or attempting to like make a name for themselves, saying they were filing a class action against Pumped Out Fun?
Yeah.
So did that. I was calling. Oh my gosh, I just said the name of the law firm. Berwick.
Berwick.
I had called shit on Berwick. I was like, you're just and they're like, have you even read the complaint? And I was like, you know what? No, I have not. And so I have a daily show, you know, and so I was like, I will read it tonight on my daily show, all 46 pages. And during reading through this, they claimed that Pump Fund had like a burn feature within Pump Fund to burn tokens. And I was like, I don't remember that, but it might be a new feature, you know? And so I was like, well, okay, I don't see this on the page. I don't see this on my token pages. Well, maybe my tokens were, since they're older, you know, they don't have the new upgrade type of thing to do that. So I was like, all right, cool. We're launching a token to see if we can burn it.
Well, when they graduate, doesn't it burn on the Pump Fund side and mint on the new side?
It burns the LP.
Yeah, just the LP.
Yeah, but I was talking about like burning the token itself, you know, sort of
they
like
need to add that.
That would be pretty cool.
How crazy would it be if when they start with 1 billion tokens and burn 99% of them?
That's stupid stuff, because you would think.
But some people won't share because they don't know how to make their own tokens, and they know that it's like non-mintable, fit supply.
Yeah,
it's easy. You press a few buttons.
That's all it is. That's all we're doing is pressing buttons, clicking buttons, tapping keys. And so yeah, no, we Did test burn. Test burn, I don't know. It literally just took off. It bonded almost instantly. So I wasn't even paying attention to like what was going on chain, other like I was like, this is a test. This is nothing here, And I was like, well, crap. So I took the tokens that we had bought and we burned them. Our favorite site for that is Soul Slug's Soul Incinerator.
Yeah, I saw you use that site a few times. Looks pretty nifty.
It is pretty good. If you're wanting to clean up your wallet for like and close down accounts and like recover that soul from the rental soul, it's great for that. If you want to burn NFTs that you don't want anymore and recover the soul for that, or get rid of like the crappy CNFTs that get you get spammed with sometimes, you can do that. Just be mindful that you can also accidentally burn your LP as well.
Oh, yeah. Instead of putting the token contract address, you put the address to the liquidity pool.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen on other chains.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and what's cool is between EVM chains and Solana does an actual deletion of that token supply. So it's actually represented automatically through the blockchain explorer, versus like with like EVM chains, you're sending it to like a 00x dead address, and you just have to wait for token supply to eventually be represented via like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. So not as nifty, but still pretty cool.
So about Crime Token, how many holders do you think there are right now?
I think we got about 158.
Okay.
Well, we have like, so
less than 1,000 sounds pretty early.
Yeah. So let's see here. We can look at this that way. So we actually have 168 holders, and when I say holders, wallet addresses.
Okay.
One of those 168 is Pump.Fun. One of them is Meteora. One of them is Radium, because what we did is we locked tokens away in LP pools on Radium and on Meteora. And then we also have a handful of other locked addresses. I'd say like under five or six addresses, because we created, we did like a 10,000-year lock on Jupiter's Vault. And we did like a 1,000-year lock within Streamflow. And then we also set up a staking contract on Streamflow, where people could lock anywhere from 3 days, or stake from 3 days to 100 years, and they would get a crime payout, APY. And then we also did 2% of the supply. I think we did as an air. Was it 2% or 0.2? We're gonna say 0.2%, as a maybe closer to 1% total, set out for airdrops to about 106,000 wallets can claim a little bit of crime via Streamflow.
What's that requirement to claim?
I think we made two different requirements, or there's two different airdrops. We basically got addresses that really, I don't think there is a requirement.
Maybe send me the Streamflow later. I'll share it in the Discord, see if anybody wants to try the claim.
Yeah.
Since it's on Streamflow anyways.
Streamflow's good. And I think I pulled addresses from Bonk holders. So like everyone that was holding Bonk, like 86,000 wallets. And then I picked up wallets for I think it was Saga or Seeker, the new Solana Mobile 2 phone. And there's about 30,000 addresses in that
Wow.
CSV file. So, active-ish people in some way, shape, or form. Wasn't really targeting whales or anything like any. I was trying to go for community. Bonk is huge community token, and a lot of people that have been active, when they saw what happened with the Solana saga when the Seeker launched, they were like, yes, I need to be in part of that. So yeah.
Yeah, the Solana, when they airdropped on their phones, that's when Bonk price recovered.
Yep.
The Solana Foundation got Bonk super cheap for that airdrop.
Yep, they did.
What was your best thing that you did at the Bitcoin conference?
The best thing I did was meet you.
We met for like 5 seconds.
Yes,
I was carrying water from Walgreens because I'm not paying $14 for a bottle of water.
Hey, you are a smart man. I did not pay $14, but I did not carry. I only got like the big little 6-pack of like the tall ones, and I carried them at like when I first got to the hotel, and was good that way. That is a trick for Vegas. Walk 100 feet away from the strip and hit any store, and things are half the price.
Yep.
So I got to do a lot of interviews and talk to a lot of people, so I got to meet and talk for a while with Justin's son at a private event. I then also got to meet him over at the Blue Origin capsule that they had in the BTC whale section, and that was sort of fun.
Yeah.
I got to do an interview with Sugar Ray Leonard Jr.
I don't even know who that is. I have to look him up. Sounds like a musician.
No, Sugar Ray Leonard Charles Jr. is a boxer.
Okay.
He is the son of Sugar Ray, who is another famous boxer. And so Sugar Ray Jr., also a boxer. And he is 13-0 on his fights. And so live on the interview, I challenged him to his 14th fight. And he accepted. And I then put up my hand for a thumb war with him.
Who's bigger, you or him?
I am definitely taller.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. He won the thumb war.
Really?
Yes.
I never lost the thumb war because I can pull it back all the way.
I
take it out of the joint.
I can pull my thumb back, but you also can't win because you're just playing avoidance.
Well, I'm a gamer also. My thumbs are always busy.
Yeah. But
do you game? Your name's PlayerOne, so
I do game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Play some different games here and there when I'm able to, and I sort of have a blast. But I've had the name PlayerOne since 2008. Okay. So I've had it for a while.
You ever play Ark?
I have not.
Oh, they just updated the Ark Ascend to Unreal Engine 5.5. The game looks amazing, but you need like a 5090 or something crazy to run it.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to see my gaming machine?
Yes, let's see your gaming machine.
Look at this gaming machine. It's a monster.
The beast.
I got a 4090 with a 7900 XTX, 2 graphic cards. It can get 4K on 240 hertz.
All right.
Because I use the lossless scaling program on Steam for $7.
Yeah.
You can use your second GPU to scale now. It's really awesome.
Nice.
NVIDIA could not do this. They could not launch this program for people. So some random guy on Steam launched it for $7.
Builders are really cool, and that's sort of what I get to spend my days doing is cool stuff like that. So, it's sort of fun.
You should try to do like a small game on Grok or something for crime. It doesn't have to be a big game, just when you're free time.
Well, so we actually did a partnership with Ruby Corporation. So
Ruby,
right away, I tried to figure out some quick little partnership things for people to do with their crime rather than buy and wait, so there's staking, you can lock it away. Staking right now is there's an issue with staking, and so I've reached out to the StreamFlow team. What I might have them do is do an emergency unstake, and like unstake everyone's staked crime and send back to their wallet, because because the way the contract was supposed to be was that if someone locked their crime away for 100 years, they would earn roughly, the math was supposed to be, they would earn 5x of what they staked over the first year.
But you can only earn more tokens if you're able to mint more tokens.
Yes.
The contract doesn't allow to mint more crime.
No. And so I've been, what I had to do is I bought a lot of crime and I seeded the staking pool with it. So there's no minting to crime. What's in supply is in supply. I think right now it's at 948 million, I think. So yeah, right around 6.6% of the total supply has been burned from 1 billion. That sounds right. Yeah.
6.6%. Okay. Like 66 million.
Yeah.
I hear you say like 100 years or like 1,000 years. Are you taking the Brian Johnson approach?
No. If people are willing to lock away their crime, earn something back over time.
But 100 years, that's too long to stake.
It is, but
you can do less time, right?
Yes, you can lock anywhere from 3 days to 100 years.
Okay, that's cool. Did you meet Brian Johnson or see him?
Yeah, DNA House. Yeah.
Did he look young in person?
He looked.
He's 47, if that helps. Did he look younger than 47?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he looked.
He didn't look like 20, but he looked younger than 47 to me.
He looked like someone who has put a lot of time into how they look, whether it's through, he looked glossy. Is the best way to. Is the best, from his like skincare routine.
Hydrated.
Hydrated. But we were at DNA House and he gave his classic talk on, the 3 most important things: sleep, man boners, and woman boners.
Boners?
Yeah.
He didn't talk about that at the Bitcoin Well event. He left that part out.
No, he said that boner health is the number 1 sign of good health.
Like your bone density or?
Nope. Boner.
Boner. Let me Google boner.
Erection.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
morning erections is what he was talking about.
Yeah. He did make a joke asking if someone wanted to be his blood boy. People were saying yeah in the audience. And I thought it was funny because I was one of the youngest people in the audience. I was like, who are these guys saying yes?
Yeah. No. So what is it that you do, Tame?
I do a lot of crypto futures trading. So Bitcoin long, shorts. I do spot trading. Very heavily into Doge on the big dips. Yeah. And then I make YouTube video live stream about the trading indicators. Whenever I go long, whenever I go short. Yeah. Share those entries in my Discord. And then in my free time, I'm playing video games. I go to a lot of conferences as well.
Nice.
My last conference, I met you, Las Vegas.
But you said you saw me in Bangkok at DevCon.
I didn't say DevCon. I said I saw you in Bangkok.
Oh, okay. You saw me in Bangkok.
You were at that massage parlor.
I was at that massage parlor.
Yeah. On let me think of the street. I'm joking. I was at Token 2049.
That's Singapore.
Oh, Singapore. What was Bangkok then? DevCon?
DevCon.
DevCon and DoomCon.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you go to DoomCon in Bangkok or DevCon?
I did go to DoomCon. I went to DuneCon. Was there for the day, and then I was at DevCon,
Okay.
and then I was in Bangkok for like 5 days. I think
Nice.
5 6 days. So 4 days of conference, then a half day of sleep, and then getting on a plane to spend 2 days flying back to the States.
I stayed for like 12 days.
Okay.
And when I was there, some of the people I met were the Pump.Fun people. Met those guys that were giving speeches. Uh, one cool thing about Pump.Fun, they brought back the live streaming. I saw you there. Which, if they never brought back the live streaming, I would never have found you again online, probably. I would have saw you at the Bitcoin conference because, ironically, we still walk in the same path.
Yeah. No, and that was sort of cool.
Yep. You had on all your badges, right?
And that is my classic look. When you see me at a conference, I wear all my badges because.
Did you get in the Bitcoin conference for free, or did you have the pass?
So I was granted a press pass.
Press. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So was everywhere, interviewing all the projects that were there. Had a lot of fun talking with a lot of the different exchanges on the regulatory side. I interviewed the ex-commissioner of the IRS as well. And that was Chuck. I don't mean to butcher his last name, but I'm going to. I think it's pronounced Reddick.
Does he work at Coinbase now, or where did he go?
He doesn't work anywhere. He's retired.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's enjoying life.
He's just attending Bitcoin conferences now.
He was at the Bitcoin conference, and then he was at Tokenize with Michael Turpin.
Oh, do you know Michael?
I do.
I met him in Canada.
He's a good man.
On the yacht party.
Okay.
So I bet I saw you in Canada also.
I wasn't in Canada at Consensus. I was home.
Not Consensus. It was they had this big event in Canada a while back. Toronto, I think. Not sure.
Futurist?
Yeah, Futurist.
I've been to Futurist.
Did you go on the yacht party?
Not in Canada, I didn't.
Okay.
Last yacht I went on was I think I went on one in Dubai. I'm not sure. I don't remember if it was this time in Dubai or last time in Dubai during Token. But I went to a yacht party in Istanbul during Solana Accelerate. So I was there. Yeah.
It's crazy seeing Solana go from $9 to over 300 and come back down.
Hey, I remember when Solana was like $3.
One Vitalik Buterin tweet, we went from like $9 and then uptrended hard.
Yeah. I got into Solana really early. So gotten to see it, climb from nothing, and everyone thinking it was vaporware and nothing needs to move this fast. There's no apps that are going to need, this, it just worked.
It needs to move that fast if you're a trader that wants limit orders.
Exactly.
Then those platform goes down. When Solana goes down and it burns all your Solana. It's a nightmare sometimes. If they fix it though, if they get it good, it could be good long term.
Yeah. So we'll see some cool things. We'll see some cool things with it. So
where do you live?
I live in Dallas.
That central time zone?
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a big state though. Texas is huge.
Yeah. If you want to drive anywhere, if you want to drive to California, it's a 26-hour drive. 18 of those hours are in Texas.
Gosh, I cannot imagine driving. Well, North Carolina is big too. I can drive from the beach to the mountains like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, I cannot drive 18 hours in the car.
Yeah. So what are you doing on futures right now?
I'm in a Dogecoin long and Ethereum long. Also in a Please long.
Please. Please is a good one. Reopened when Bitcoin was retracing, and once it hit 101 and once it got to 102, it opened up a 500x long on Bitcoin. So we'll see. We'll ride that to like 110, I think, before we take profit.
I'm using my Doge long and ETH long to hedge my Bitcoin short right now.
Oh,
Well,
man.
I had a big short right before the Bitcoin conference at 111K.
Yeah.
I took profits. It was 400 times short. Closed it for about 2,500%. Entered another one. Closed it for 1,000%. And then my third short, I'm just kept it open.
Oh man, I think your profits from your Doge and your ETH long are going to get eaten up on this Bitcoin short, man.
Well, if Bitcoin pumps, I think Doge and ETH will go up a little bit more percentage wise. I know Sailor raised a lot of money recently.
Mm-hmm.
They can buy a lot of Bitcoin. I also have a theory that maybe GameStop, because GameStop paid over 108,000 per Bitcoin. Like
Yep.
that corporation paid more per Bitcoin than almost every other corporation, and they have earnings in about 4 days. So I was like, maybe they'll dollar cost average buy one more time before earnings to report that they're actually break even or not that negative.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that a company is buying Bitcoin for the first time at that high price.
Well, now that it's finally getting regulatory acceptance, we'll see more and more companies buy Bitcoin, you know.
Well, the
So,
vaccine after it got regulatory acceptance, the stock was already all time highs, and then people started dumping those stocks.
yep. The thing,
EV has regulatory acceptance now, but those stocks are near all time high.
the thing that sucks is a lot of that those large amounts of Bitcoin aren't actually being bought on the open market. They're being sold and traded on dark pools. So we're not seeing trades like that buying, really affect market price. Like those pools will have to eventually they DCA buy back to like replenish their stock, but that's one of the things that sort of sucks about that.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but
Throw.
at the Bitcoin conference, people were trying to push Sailor into showing the Bitcoin holdings on chain.
Yeah.
And that was something he wasn't willing to do yet. It's a tough one because
I think
it's in
Arkham
custody on paper.
I think Arkham has all of those wallets.
No, because some of this stuff it's IOUs from Coinbase. It's not delivered yet.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
If
do you pay for Arkham data?
I don't pay for Arkham data,
You should.
but I was an early adopter into Arkham,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a good source of data. Um, one of my main data sources is the tie.
Is your goal to make it on Arkham one day? They're gonna be like, look at PlayerOneTaco.
Um, I know my wallet is already doxed on Arkham. Um, so I manage two EVM wallets.
Mm-hmm.
My PlayerOneTaco.eth. I do all my major trades out of that wallet. If I'm going to a brand new protocol that I've never touched before, I'll use a secondary wallet just to try it out to make sure it actually works, because I don't want anyone that's watching my wallet to follow in my steps and get wrecked. I'd rather get wrecked on a test wallet, on a burn wallet, than someone, following me, and doing something, doing what I do. So, then the same thing goes with my PlayerOneTaco.sol address. I do everything on that address. The only thing that's separate is I got challenged by HawkFi to try to do a 3 to 30 challenge. So
Well,
that is
it's
what
easy
I'm
if you
doing.
got two wallets.
I'm doing a 3 to 30 to see about. So literally started with 3 sold, and just by providing liquidity, I can grow that to 30 sold. See how long that takes.
Yeah, it's really good like two wallets though, because sometimes people copy you, try to front run you. You have to use like a second wallet.
It's okay if
And
like using your main wallet. Anyone will try to, like, if people are trying to front run you, they don't care about your wallet address. They're listening. Their bots are listening to the mempool,
Mhm.
And so it doesn't matter what wallet you make a trade from. They're watching the mempool. Who's making it? And that's what you have to go through anyway to make a trade. And
Yep.
so
and then they tip more. They pay more Solana.
Yep, they pay more. They tip more into that to just be routed first, and that's what a whole sandwich attack is they buy in front of you and then they sell right after you.
That's the worst part about crypto, in my opinion. I don't like the sandwich attacks or stuff like that. So maybe they're gonna have more protocols like against that in the future. That is one good thing about centralized exchanges. It's not on there.
Yeah, it can, open order books you can go buy from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, to sort of protect against that, I use like protocols like 1inch on EVM, and they process transactions in order of transaction,
In your opinion, by providing tokens to a liquidity pool, is that the same as selling?
No.
Or like selling at a scale price up?
Well, because I burned the liquidity, so I can't pull, like, let's say all of those tokens are bought up and it's just SOL left in that pool. I can't pull that SOL out.
Okay.
So if you're just depositing liquidity and you're not burning the LP, then yes, you're allowing the price to trade through your position. Mm-hmm. And so and then once that's done, once it's traded through it and you have impermanent loss, meaning you just have SOL and no more token, then yes, you sort of sold your tokens and now you have SOL and you can withdraw that. But by the way I provided liquidity is using the Meteora burn function. And so basically deposited tokens, deposited a matching amount of SOL, and then I burned it. I burned the access, and that's a cool little feature that Meteora added and stuff like that. So, and same thing on Radium. So the idea that a lot of people can do right now is they can buy from the pump fund page and they could sell into the Meteora pool. They can go to Meteora and they can sell right into the pool right there. And then they can, and they're not affecting the price of the pump page. And then they could, literally go and loop that back and go back buy from the pump fund page and go sell to the Meteora.
It would be nice to be able to arbitrage that a lot.
I think
when you get more volume, it's definitely going to be doable.
Well, that's the thing. There was a really good arbitrage opportunity there. Unfortunately, what people were doing was they were buying from the pump fund, and then they were selling into the Meteora, and they weren't doing anything else.
And it would be like a vortex downward.
Yep.
Instead of the opposite, you want the vortex upward.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have 84 views, but after this goes live, we're live, but when we publish it, people tend to watch the replays. Mm-hmm. They probably want to learn more about you. Did you start with crypto or did you start with stocks?
Crypto.
Crypto? Okay. Mm-hmm. We're opposite. Yep. I started with stocks.
Yep. No, but I started in I started trading stocks in 2008, 2009 is when I really when the market crashed.
How old are you?
I'm over 40.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you were in your 30s.
Thank you.
So you are taking the Brian Johnson approach.
Naturally.
The beard helps make people look younger, and Brian Johnson did not mention that.
Yeah. No, my life is crypto, cigars, and caffeine.
I don't do caffeine. I don't do cigars.
But yeah, no. So I started as a Bitcoin miner in 2012.
I was still a miner in 2012.
Yeah.
I didn't have capital in 2012. I didn't start buying stocks until 2015, 2016.
Okay.
That's when I started buying NVIDIA because I'm a big NVIDIA gamer. I collect their cards. I play the games. Seeing what NVIDIA has done, it helped Bitcoin tremendously.
100%.
Going from CPU to GPU, then to ASIC.
Yep.
I met a lot of great people that do mining, so maybe we can help some other people that did not attend the Bitcoin conference. One thing that I noticed was all these companies, going public, getting listed on NASDAQ, and a lot of them are mining companies like Eric Trump, supposed to be getting a mining company on the stock exchange in about 2 months.
Okay.
I saw Ant Alpha already got listed.
Mhm.
Circle IPO. They announced that they were going to IPO. Is there any other company you remember that? Gemini.
Gemini is about to IPO as well.
Right. Did Gemini ever pay back customers from Gemini Earn that was lost? I need to check that.
They never actually stole any money from Earn. They stopped paying out. And so they this is something that I know because I followed along with it, because the way Gemini was making with their Gemini Earn is they were taking their trading fees from their left pocket and using it to pay people in their right pocket. And the SEC said that was a no-no.
No, they lended out the money to a company that lended to FTX. Okay, they did repay it. I see the lawsuit now. Yep. They were able to repay 100%. That's good.
Yep. Gemini, that was so they paid out before they even filed against FTX.
Good. Yeah, they had to sue the other companies to get money.
To be a creditor in order of. Yeah.
The Winklevi twin always get screwed over. They have to go to court and sue the people that screw them over, like Mark Zuckerberg when he stole Facebook from them.
Yeah. It's
a tough world.
I got to hang out with Tyler Winklevoss. Now that is a big man.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's bigger than me.
Like 6'5", right?
I would say he was 6'6".
But be honest, you think you could take both of them into a fight together?
No.
No?
No. And I'll tell you why, because one of the things that we got asked, I don't know if you saw people get it, like it was getting asked a lot, is especially during like Token 2049, the 100 KOLs versus a bear. And whenever people ask me that, I'm like,
100 KOLs.
I'm like, are any of the KOLs brothers? And because the really, really old saying goes is that a bear would rather face 100 men than 2 brothers. Because 100 men will come at it randomly and, without communication, 2 brothers, would plan that out. So, yeah, if I would, if it was me versus the Winklevosses, I would say one, they would probably win.
Okay.
I probably get some licks in. But not only would they probably win in the fight, they would then probably sue me as well.
Okay, makes sense.
And that would be a crime.
Wow. How do you feel about sharing what's the wildest thing you did in Las Vegas during the Bitcoin conference?
Wildest thing I did in Vegas. So the conference officially started on Tuesday. I arrived Sunday night. And because my time zone piece was off a little bit, I walked across the street. I walked to the hotel, walked back into the Venetian Palazzo conference area, and I got onto the conference floor before anyone was supposed to be there. 2 a.m. And I'm
2 a.m. Wow.
And I'm smoking a cigar, walking around, taking pictures of booths, trying to figure out which projects I wanted to talk to and stuff like that. And then I visited the Bitcoin Lounge piece, and there was the Blue Origin space capsule. So mind you, it's 2 a.m.
No security?
No security.
Wow.
I'm smoking a cigar, And so I go and take a picture of me in front of the Blue Origin, smoking a cigar. That probably was the craziest thing I did in Las Vegas.
Did you go inside the Blue Origin?
I had an opportunity to, but I did not.
I went inside. It's very tight.
Yeah.
Like, it was tight. I don't want to go to Mars now.
So I signed an NDA with Blue Origin and got like the actual price, and stuff, and planned for that. And so
they made you sign an NDA for the price?
Not just the price, but like some of the other information I was getting and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it was rather interesting,
I didn't sign an NDA. What the guy told me is like, if you want to join our wait list, you don't have to pay today, but when a spot comes open, we can work out the payment then. I was like, I don't want to go. I'm not going on this. I'm too big for one. Two, it's not comfortable.
Oh, they would change the seat a little bit and put a wider seat in there for you. Yeah.
Nah. And then I'm going with like 4 or 5 other people that are strangers. No way.
It's a bonding experience.
I would rather bond with people like doing a survival trip with no food and water, going into mountains before going up to space for 10 seconds.
What, you wouldn't want to take some of your Discord community with you?
Oh, God, no, not those guys. I saw some of those guys in Vegas. God, no. This one guy in my Discord, I'm not going to say his name, but he didn't go to a lot of this stuff. He didn't even go down to the GA that much. I text him like, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to come down? I'm about to meet Michael Saylor. He's like, oh, I got 4 girls in my hotel room. I can't come down right now. I was like, you're going to miss Saylor. He's like, it's cool, bro.
Priorities.
Yeah. I'm like, no. So I don't want to trust those people in space.
Hey, he might bring 4 girls with him.
You can't do it in space.
Or he might miss the launch.
Oh, probably miss a launch.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of fun that Bitcoin Vegas was pretty fun. What about you? What was the craziest thing you did?
Let's see. I brought Ron's Basement Unicorn Fart Dust founder there, and we went out quite a bit. He's taller than me in person too, like really tall.
Okay.
Someone rented a truck with his face and UFD on it. It's pretty cool. They drove it around Vegas.
I think I saw a picture of Ron, you, and someone else.
Frankie, the guy with the big butt.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, we met Frankie there too. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
we did a running video together.
Nice. I was trying to find you that second day to run into you to meet Ron, but I don't know. I thought that was actually pretty cool of you to do. So
we had lots of great opportunity. Just because the hotel's in the same building as the event, so that's good.
I stayed across the street, Treasure Island.
Treasure Island.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my conference hack, whenever you're in Vegas, if there's a conference at the Venetian, I stay at Treasure Island. And if there's a conference at Caesar's Palace, I stay across the street at the Link.
Oh, I was at all of those hotels.
Same. I was at all of them as well. But by doing that, one, it's like 10 times cheaper. And it gets you to walk and see the sun a little bit, because during the conference you're just pretty much inside all day, So a nice morning brisk walk, but it added to my steps each day. But yeah.
Did you go to the Omnia at Caesars?
I did twice.
Okay, cool. I didn't see you there, but I was there.
I was there for the Tron party and Kraken party.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was there for the closing night event as well.
Yeah. I was there for both, because the closing night was pretty cool.
Yep. That was packed then. The buyout that Kraken and Tron did, and oh my gosh, I always forget the name of the chain.
So you met Tron.
Why? Yep, Justin Sun.
He was there. I didn't see him.
So he was on stage, and then I was invited by Van Eck to a private Gemini Van Eck party.
Okay.
And that's where I met Tyler, but that's also I met Justin Sun first, and I had to go drink like 3 Red Bulls. Actually, not Red Bulls. They didn't have Red Bull. They had Ghost.
Did they give you a banana?
No. I got one of the little gift boxes though.
Did it have a banana in it, the gift box?
It did not.
Okay. I saw they were giving away the boxes that had bananas.
Yep. I did not get that box. I got a different box.
Man.
But yeah, no, it was no, I've known the Tron team for a long time. So
Did you go to their party in Bangkok? Well, their event?
I went to the one that was thrown by Twiskers.
I was there.
Yeah.
So I think I saw you there too.
Okay.
They had like a pool table in the middle.
No, this one had a pool.
Well, there's a pool outside, but inside the actual area, they had like a pool table.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And so I was hanging out in a different room with just Hunter and Steven.
That's who I met there, Hunter.
Okay. Yeah, Hunter's
Cool.
pretty cool. Hunter, Steven, and the founder of Twiskers. He's known, but he tries to stay doxed a little bit,
Undoxed.
He tries to say undoxed a little bit.
Okay.
Well, when I say that, doxed in the aspect of people know who he is, he's really big. He runs a lot of different things in the Tron ecosystem.
Hunter or the other guy?
The other guy, the founder of Twiskers.
Yeah, because I was about to say Hunter's face was everywhere in all the pictures.
Oh yeah, no, Hunter's face is everywhere.
Yeah.
And heck, Hunter even wears a onesie that has his face 10,000 times over it.
So let me ask you this: would you want to have a party like that or an event like that for crime?
No, not like that. You're talking about the Twiskers party in Bangkok?
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean,
if I was host a party for crime,
or like a side event at one of the big conferences.
If we were hosting a side event in Vegas, I would want to put something together at the Mob Museum.
Mob Museum, okay.
I think that would be funny. My friend Johnny runs a bar in Vegas as well. The Nerd Bar. We also, one of the things that I forgot I couldn't get picture of because I was running around like a freaking squirrel. We got own a billboard on Las Vegas, Fremont and Las Vegas Boulevard on the corner. Johnny owns it, and he lets me put stuff up there. And so literally put one of the community members put together a banner for us, and we made a crime drink, and we had it up there for about an hour, 2 hours or so, just for fun of it, so that was sort of cool.
Well, as an American, like, I'm probably committing a lot of crimes every day just by existing.
Yeah, there's the story. What, you commit 3 felonies a day?
Yeah.
So whether it's from like crossing a street to having an ice cream cone in your back pocket to, I don't know. And it also depends on what country you're in as well. I know like half of what we talk about on the internet, we're not allowed to talk about in other countries,
Right. Or on an airplane.
Or on the airplane. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's we live a good life. We're lucky. So, for me, I like more quiet events ish, rather than ragers. Like, so the last event that I personally put on was during ETH Denver.
Okay.
At my favorite cigar bar there. So
I don't smoke. I hate smoke, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing about Vegas for me. I didn't know people were going to smoke in the building.
Oh, yeah. That is the thing. Vegas actually tried to ban smoking for a while.
I may not go next year just because of that one thing. When I came back, I was coughing a lot.
Oh man, yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's a Vegas thing. Vegas tried to ban smoking all outright on the casino floor, and it died. They're they realized it hit their bottom line.
Well, also it's so hot outside, people may not want to go outside to smoke. They could do like the airports and make like smoking rooms where it has those nice vents.
But then they can't gamble at the same time.
They can put that in the rooms, that smoking rooms.
Yeah, gamblers.
I see you. What you got in your? You got like a vape or something?
I am smoking a vape right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you addicted to nicotine?
Yeah. I don't do any drugs. I don't drink. So.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. You don't drink.
No.
Tell me about some crimes you committed this week.
Some crimes that I committed this week. Let's see here. We bought another $2,000 worth of crime. We burned a bunch of it. We locked a bunch away. We stocked up the marketing wallet. The marketing wallet now has about 90 million crime in it.
How do you use a marketing wallet with crypto tokens?
We're going to be using it for. I have a couple friends at different exchanges and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, you have to be able to give them tokens for them to list it. So
I know everything about that.
Yeah. So there's that. As we bring on other platforms, so we're building our own platform out.
Okay, that's good.
Over the next 4 or 5 months. And so we're in design phase right now. Then we'll go into smart contract logic. Then we'll go into actual building, and then development, and then publishing. Yeah.
You heard about Kick TV or like Twitch TV?
I have.
What about Crime TV? People can record their crimes.
No.
A, it helps the police find criminals faster. B, people get famous for their crimes.
Yeah.
People record themselves committing crimes.
And then they post it on social media, which
is
a serious thing. And then they're like, we don't know how they got us.
Those guys got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny people recording themselves committing crimes and then getting caught.
Yeah. And then acting surprised.
Yeah.
No. But what we're building out is a perpetual prediction market platform with the standard question, is it a crime? So people will be able to post wanted, bounty questions, with a picture, a story, a situation, and then and then people can vote yes or no, is it a crime?
Well, Elon and Twitter just announced a partnership with Polymarket today.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? Check Et's Twitter account.
Okay.
It's Polymarket partnered with Twitter. They're going to have predictive markets on the app. You can just go straight through your profile.
Nice.
So that's how they're bringing crypto on Twitter.
Well, crypto's already on Twitter.
Well, like I'm talking about like directly through your profile, like being able to like trade stuff.
That's pretty cool.
I never thought that they would announce Polymarket, but
so what's cool is there's a couple different protocols on Solana to where you could literally just like tag the bot and it will make a prediction market based off of that.
Yeah.
So there's some cool stuff that people have done with the Twitter API.
Is it a crime?
So that'll always be the question. So like, let's say there's a founder walks away from a project because they get burned out or something like that. Someone could post like, hey, is this a crime? And people that are voting can leave a comment. If you vote yes, you got to leave a comment. If you vote no, you got to leave a comment. Sort of like witness statements. And then if things are within a narrow range of not being too close to call because everything's on blockchain, But if it's like in a band that I decide on, that we decide on is, we'll be using Privy Wallet integrations, where it will then automatically email people for jury selection, basically.
But to be a crime, are you going to have lawyers on that
So,
jury?
no. So it's witness statements, yes or no. And then the jury will go look at the witness and they will decide. If it can't be decided via witness statements, like if everyone votes yes, then yeah, it's a crime. If everyone votes no, no, it's not. If it's like 60, if it's like 55, 60, 40 or something like that,
Like crime in America or crime overall?
it's whatever question you post.
Okay.
Like you could be like,
If Kim Jong-un launched a meme coin.
is this a crime?
Yeah.
Is the question. Um, all sorts of random weird ways it can be used, but people will burn crime to post a question, and people will bet crime to answer, and then they'll be paid out.
Are you comfortable using the word bet?
Wager.
Is it bet? Or when you're doing the coding, is it bet or just like swapping? You're swapping for the prediction during.
You're swapping for the prediction. Yeah.
Probably don't want to use the word bet.
No, I'm not going to be working under a betting license. It's gonna be it's
predictive. Well, it's not betting anyways. It's swapping.
Not. It's predictive markets.
Yeah.
Are people buying more yeses or are people buying more nos?
Should it be a crime for a company to buy more than 1% on Bitcoin? Should it be a crime? No? Okay.
Do you think it should be?
Yeah.
Okay.
It becomes like right now. Yeah, because the way they're doing it, especially if they're partnering with people that are trading against retail users.
Yeah.
If their partners that their partner with can liquidate customers, then it should be a crime.
Well, if a company is buying 1% of Bitcoin, this is the whole thing with a free market. Someone's selling it to them.
Well, they might not get it yet because it's not on chain. That it goes back to the whole GameStop thing. People were selling artificial shares.
Yeah. So, well, that was short selling, and that was people were shorting and wash. Yeah, GameStop was a whole different thing. Where with Bitcoin, if someone's making an on-chain purchase of 1% of Bitcoin, you don't think they should?
Oh, only if it's on chain, but not through their partners that can liquidate retail. Or if their other companies can liquidate retail. But that's the thing, you needed Bitcoin to trade as well, so it's a very tough conundrum.
Yeah. Well, and that's where we see
you need liquidity.
Well, and that's how price drives up, and so if that Bitcoin has been bought and has been put into custody with a third party for safety, security, all of that, then that Bitcoin should just be stationary,
I have another question for you.
All right.
Why don't you rent out your development services to people and let them pay you in crime?
Because I am busy working on my own project right now, Manifest, and there are yeah.
Maybe it's a task that would take you 10 minutes where it would take them like 4 or 5 hours.
But what would they, if it takes them 4 or 5 hours, that's something that they learn throughout it,
You would be surprised what I've encountered in crypto.
Yeah.
I've seen guys pay, it's disgusting how much they pay these other people for something I saw guys on pump.fun live stream like you're doing in 10 minutes. They would
Yeah.
pay someone like 30K in 1 month for the same work. I was like, oh God, no.
Well, and you gotta realize like there's more management. Like if it's like liquidity management and stuff like that, you know, having a third party that's trusted and
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like design, image designs, or
yeah.
website design. I saw too much money get paid out over the course of a few years.
Yeah.
But it's good, like you're saving costs on crime by doing most of the work yourself.
Yep.
Where's your token at? 75% bonded?
I don't know. Let's see.
It doesn't need that much more to bond, but the market cap's at 21K. Is that because you were burning tokens?
So yeah, we're at 76 right now, 76%. So market cap's 21.
So what does the market cap have to go to bond?
It has to go to I know this question.
It's got the price right there. I can't read it. 60, is that 60K?
It needs to go to like 65 SOL in the wallet.
Oh, graduate this to pump swap at 60,851 market cap.
Yep.
Wow.
So it really depends on how much SOL is in the bonding pool. When it gets to I think like 68 SOL, that's when it bonds. Or
All
69
right.
or 69 SOL.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's weird though. The chart says 78% of the way there or so, but the market cap's about a third of the way. I wonder how they measure that bonding curve progress.
Yeah. That one I do not know.
Because when people look at it, they're like, oh, we're halfway there, and then boom, not halfway.
Oh,
dollar wise.
we're 3/4 of the way there.
And how long has it been out? 25 days?
25 days.
Okay, so I think if you can bond within the next 5 days, it might be a pretty good timeline.
Yeah, and it's one of those things to where we're at the, we had a big dump yesterday. That was you can see where I bought a bunch.
Yeah.
And
so you bought after the dip, right?
Nope.
You bought before the dip?
Yep, that big green up candle is me.
Oh, you pushed it up 30%?
Yep, and then someone else sold.
That was me. I sold right here.
What?
I sold at the top.
Yeah.
Wait, you sold at? I put in my Discord like 29K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put in my Discord when it was at 29K. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
So I sold it after your pump, and then I guess other people bought it after here.
So when it hit back down low, so we bought 1,000 right there.
Okay, that's good. You bought it at low again then.
And then once it dumped, we bought more.
Did you burn that, or did you hold it into your other wallet?
We kept 40 million, and then we burned the rest.
Okay.
So, once it, we just if we get everyone to buy and hold for a minute to get to bond rather than trade the pre-bond chart, that'll, because there's already pools on that are set up and burned on Radium and on Meteora, a lot of cool things will trigger automatically from on chain from people seeing things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm looking at it. I mean, right now, I'm trying to measure how much you burned and the price difference, because obviously it's going to be very unlikely that I could buy it again at 14.8K market cap. Yeah. There's very little times where this was 14.8K market cap. Generally, it finds support at 21K, like where we're at is where it bounces hard.
Yep. So, yeah, if you scroll back in the timeline chart a little bit, yeah, so that last big green, not that far back, the last big.
Oh, you're like very close to.
Oh yeah,
bonding.
we've gotten up to 93%. And when we got to 93%, I bought a bunch and then I burned that. So that way everyone that had bought before was protected. You know?
So from what you bought, can you calculate like what's the lowest the market cap could go now?
What I've bought and what the lowest the market cap can actually go to.
Like market cap probably can't go under 4K again. There's not enough tokens.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, no, it can't do that. So let me look at Bird Eye real quick.
The only way it goes down that low if Solana crashes 90% or something.
Yeah.
But hey, look, if Solana crashes, this thing will bond like a flash.
So you got to remember, we launched when Sol was like 170.
Yep, and Solana's been pretty volatile lately too.
Yep. So there we go. So let's see here. Yeah, so there's 939 million tokens left.
Okay.
Yeah, like the lowest it can go is I think right around a 7 to 8.
Yeah, you just subtract 1 from the 9.99 whatever.
Yep. So that's the lowest it can go. But if you look at the amount that we've locked up, and here, is it okay if I share my screen?
Sure.
Let's see if this will work. Let's do here. Let me move that over to here, and then we'll do that. All right. So, Streamflow. No, not StreamYard. X.com.
Be careful on Twitter. Some stuff you see on Twitter on your timeline.
No. Streamflow. There we go. One of the things I always do, like when I'm trying to walk people through stuff, like the safest way to find links and stuff, if you don't already have them saved, is via Twitter for protocols that you follow. So we have two major vaults. We have a vault on Jupiter, and we have a vault on vaults on Streamflow. So vesting. Oh, wrong wallet. That's why.
Your test wallet.
Yep. So there we go. So vesting, token lock, airdrops. So here are the two crime airdrops.
Okay.
So one is for 89,000 people, and the other one is for 15,000 people. So when you look at bubble maps and you see like that big payout, and then you see a lot of addresses, that's for these two. So you see 53 people have claimed so far out of that one. 3 have claimed out of that one.
Oh, the second one's paying a lot more.
Yep. Yeah. And then staking, we also did. So we have a bunch of stakes in for 100 years. So 21, 25, 21, 25, 21, 25, duration 100 years, 20, 21, 25. So
So
those are
the stream flow would make you put in those rewards that people could claim.
Yep. So I deposit those rewards in that people can claim via Streamflow. So there's that. And then let's see here. The other one. Token lock. Okay, that's the old taco one. So the other one, the other locks that we have that we've been doing for people on Jupiter. Jupiter lock.
Don't pop your seed phrase up accidentally.
I don't know why anyone would do that. That's just silly. So yeah, so here you can see show how to lock claims. So this one goes until 2026.
Wow.
This one goes until 12/18. You know, yeah, 12018. So 10,000 years.
A long time.
Yep. This one goes until September of in 1,000 years. This one goes until May 24th. This one can be claimed, but that's for development pieces.
Okay.
So because it's not needed, it's still blocked, you know. These ones are paying Chad and paying Aurora. Those people, they canceled their work, so you know, it's still out there. I can't you know, unlocked. I can't even I cancel it, but I can't unlock it.
All right.
Pay to the official Chen. They're claiming out. Shitcoin conference. There we go. So that was a million crime.
Does this work with other blockchains?
So there's other blockchain. There's other protocols you can use for vesting. I like Hedgie. If you're doing stuff on EVM, Hedgie's really good. Where you can basically turn a vested position into an NFT.
Oh, cool.
And you can then send that NFT to anyone else or sell it, you know. So it might be illiquid for you at this time, but you can still go and sell it and stuff like that. So yeah. So here was that other one that we made. Prove a point. Jasper. UFDC. Unicorn Fart Dust Cat. Jasper the cat says don't buy this. So that's sort of what we have, right? We have 66 million locked away. There.
Cool.
But
well, the locks seem pretty handy.
Yeah, they're good. They work really well. You know,
how much is a million prime right there? Let me see.
I don't even know. Not a lot.
Right. Maybe like $20 right now.
That sounds about right, maybe.
I mean, $20, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
For now.
And then so here's the lock that we did originally for crime. It's the one that's locked, 100% liquidity locked. So it's got about $800 into it. Because crime isn't getting traded through it, it's not really representing a price.
What's the liquidity, Solana?
Yep.
So why didn't you do the liquidity pool USDC or some stable?
Because we're on Solana.
Because Pump Fund already has the Solana liquidity.
Yeah. So why would we make a liquidity anywhere else? Like we might, once we hit bond, we make some LP pools with other tokens, you know, for other communities. But until we hit bond, you know, there's really no point. So like
this one's a higher base fee than Phantom a little bit, I think. 90.99%.
yeah, you know, it's
But nobody has traded through there. Do you have like a link where people can trade it directly?
so yeah, they can go to Meteora and they can look up crime. But
just put the address, right?
Yep. And so like you can buy crime or you can sell crime right through it. There's about, you know, 17 million crime in here. But what
$430 for 17 million?
No, it's yeah, so this was at like $800, but because it's crime hasn't been getting traded a whole lot.
Oh, that price is currently higher than Pump.Fun by about,
yeah.
Oh, that's significantly higher.
Nope. So you can buy it or sell it, and so once it sort of hits bond, the price range I had put it in there was trying to help it hit bond on Pump Fund pretty well. So yeah.
It's 15% higher right now.
Yep.
And the fee's not 15%, so there is still like room to arbitrage.
Yeah, so you can buy it on the Pump Fund website, and you can sell it in Meteora.
About 2.89 Solana worth. Let me try that real quick. Let me grab that free money.
Do it, you know, and then you get that soul, and then you hopefully go buy that crime back from the pool.
Well, I've already bought it. I already bought it from the
Okay.
You buy from Pump.Fun.
Go buy it from Pump Fun again.
Whatever you buy until it goes to that price.
And then you sell it on Meteora.
So there's no bots doing this automatically? I feel like there's bots everywhere.
I haven't paid for any bots.
No, not you, but like people make bots that scan all of this.
Oh yeah.
Pools. I'm surprised there's no bots attacking this yet.
You know, it would be nice, you know, but we don't, you know. Yeah.
I mean, 15% of $430. Let me see. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's like about $64 someone could probably take right there.
Yeah. The other liquidity pool that we have burned is on Radium.
You have a Radium pool?
Yep, we made a Radium pool and we locked it as well. So we locked that one away.
How much crime's there? 2.4 million?
Yeah, 2.4 mil.
Is that able to be traded by people like me?
Mm-hmm.
What's that price at right now? 80 Solana? $80 worth of Solana?
Yeah, 60.
Wow.
So, yep. So the arbitrage of buying crime right now and then selling it into the liquidity pools. There's liquidity there. Because the idea is you could, because once it hits bond, you know how all of the different bots then make things aware of things.
Yep.
So one, if you're going and buying crime and selling it on Radium and then buying it on crime to get it to bond, you can sort of make a positive feedback loop as a degen of buying and making money. It's sort of funny.
I see $64 of free money right now. I seriously may try to take it after this call.
Hey,
I have to log on the other computer to log on the websites.
Take it and then go buy more crime.
$64 is enough for like a steak.
Yeah, go buy more crime, man.
Well, I planned on buying more crime tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I did some degen stuff late last night to get into some longs. And I got lucky. The markets went up. Like,
yeah.
Let me see real quick.
I opened a bunch of positions yesterday when Sol was at 145. So happy with that.
Yeah, so I went long on Doge at 17.5 cents, and we're at 18 cents right now. I went long on ETH at 24.62, and we're only at 24.76. So ETH long is not printing a lot, but it's profitable.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin's above 104K right now. So actually, your token, it may start doing better when Bitcoin starts running again.
Not we're starting to see a decoupling of BTC from the rest of the market, which is good.
For now, but the liquidity and liquidations. If we break all-time high for Bitcoin, the alts like to move a little bit more, maybe like 5-10% extra.
Yeah. But like this is the thing I got to remind people all the time. Look at where we were at 26 days ago. We were at we were at sub 95, and in 26 days, we went from 95 to all-time highs, to now sitting above, retested, from 108, dropped all the way down to 101 before bouncing. A lot of people had it in the 102 range. And with Bitcoin, if it 102 and it touches 101, it's not much of a difference to where I don't feel it doesn't meet any concerns. But we found sort of Bitcoin's new stabilization around like 104, and so slightly below stabilization. And I think that, look, in 60 days, you were making fun of GameStop for buying Bitcoin at 108.
They bought at the highest price out of any corporation.
Yeah, but in 60 days, they're going to look like they were an early mover.
I hope so. Because, in 4 days when they have their earnings call. Oof.
So what they're doing is they're buying a floor price. They're supporting a floor price for you.
108K?
Yeah.
Man.
Someone else has to buy it for it to go up.
I understand that. GameStop, I was really big into GameStop before during the short squeeze.
Yeah.
Seeing their strategy now, trying to get more assets that could appreciate before America does the Bitcoin reserve and puts money. I understand that FOMO, but it's a very risky FOMO.
Yeah.
But they have a hard asset, so when people look at their balance sheet, instead of just cash, they have Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And they didn't buy all their money. They have $4.2 billion left. $4.2 billion could be used to borrow a lot of money. And I think they did their first buy on Bitcoin to just see if the price goes up, then they can borrow more money against that Bitcoin rather than using their 4.2 billion.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things that has made it an asset. It's now a debtable asset, meaning companies can put it on their books and they can take debt out against it.
Right.
So it's not just Michael Saylor finding friends and family and offshore account, banks that will take debt on what he owns. It's Wells Fargo, that sort of type of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing all types of people to Bitcoin conferences now. I saw Gary Cardone.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about wrapping in a real estate deal with Bitcoin for one of their funds.
Yep.
Although it gets a little bit crazy when you mix in real estate with Bitcoin. It can get wild.
Yep. They can. But if you're looking at it long term, both are safe.
Yeah, but for long term, you cannot borrow that short term money. You cannot do the short term high interest rates. It will burn you. It will burn through all the profits.
It will. 100%.
I've seen people buy Bitcoin before at 50K. We went to 69K. They thought we were going to 100K. Crashed all the way down 16K. They had to keep paying off that debt month after month. 2-3 years go by, and then they're finally break even.
Yeah. Hey, it's what people do. Yeah.
That's why people buy meme coins.
Yeah, something that has a bunch of zeros after the decimal.
Someone finally bought some crime in the they pushed up like $500 on the market cap.
All right. Shout out to the new crime fam.
Let's see who did the trade. Well, I don't know. 4 minutes ago, a few people bought. They don't have the names, just this stuff. Yeah, it looks like it might have some new holders. Although it says this transaction may have originated from a bot. So I think someone's going to go ahead and get that $64 before me.
Yeah.
Man.
So,
have you hired people from like outside of America before?
Yes. Have like to do stuff or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a good experience or a bad experience?
Back in 21, I ran a shill group of like 20 Filipinos, and we had rules and we were hired out for projects and stuff like that. And it wasn't never talking about buying. We were just yelling about a project,
Okay.
And so, now it's, you got to deal with like, I was up to date on my messages in Telegram, and then, all of a sudden, I got 10,000, 200 people messaging me that they'll make my coin pump if I pay them in cash. I'm like, yeah, no, I will offer you the same thing that I've offered everyone else. A million crime locked for 3 months vested,
Yeah.
So, the greatest ones are, I so believe in your project. And then I'm like, all right, cool, let's do something. And then they're like, what's the ticker? And I'm like, okay, bye-bye.
Well, full disclosure, I believe in your project because I see you like live streaming, showing your face. And you go to the conferences and meet the other people in person.
And I build real things.
Yeah. You build stuff too.
Yeah, no. Like we're building out Manifest for the last 4.5 years. So yeah.
And you never paid me in crime either, so I never took anything from you. This is just like
no,
me finding you and Pump.fun website and then seeing you again in person.
Yeah. And then you literally like showing me our DMs on Twitter. And I was like, okay, cool. Connected.
Yeah.
Now dots are connected,
Yep. And I was transparent with you like the other day, like my wallet address. But it's got my name on it too, so
yeah. No.
On the Pump.fun you can see the trader, Tametheark.
Yeah.
But anybody could copy my name and put that as well.
Yep.
Like I could put the name Mark Zuckerberg on a wallet and then
you could.
That would be funny.
The Zuck.
Put Snoopy Doggy. Not Snoop Dogg, but Snoopy Doggy.
No, man, nah. I have more interesting things to do than to like go false pump my own token. Like watching paint dry.
Who's your favorite trader?
Who's my favorite trader?
Yeah, do you have like a favorite trader that you see on social media or anywhere on YouTube?
I don't watch too many traders these days. Kelly Killam. I help run the Mario show sometimes.
Okay.
So like Buzz and Druith and Pulse Digital and Lawyered, we're sort of all we scraped crypto Twitter for like new stuff, and like so we provide like the news that gets posted on the Mario Roundtable account. And then we also when breaking news happens, we run the Twitter space and stuff. So those guys are pretty good. I like them, yeah. I watch boring people on YouTube, like Paul Barron.
I watched the Outdoor Boys. Or used to.
Then they cancel their show?
Yeah. I like Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill, the guy that talked about GameStop, is pretty interesting.
Yep. Yeah. You know what interview I have to I have to edit, and when I say edit, I have to take off like the first 3 seconds and the last 3 seconds.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Yeah. But Wall Street Bets
Okay.
got to do. I know him. I got to do an interview with him in Dubai, and then I got to have lunch with him. And
Is that Wall Street Silver?
Wall Street Bets.
I don't know the difference between those two.
Robert is Wall Street Bets.
Let me look. Okay, yeah, they're different. He's the younger one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wall Street Silver is old.
Wall Street Bets is the original.
Wow, Tom from MySpace posted on Twitter like an hour ago too.
Yeah, he was in Vegas.
Yeah, he's just posted about his friend going to a poker Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
You know who I met that I didn't know who I'd met until later on? TJ Miller.
Really?
Comedian. Yeah.
I wanted to do some stand-up comedy about crypto a while back. There was so much good material.
There is. I think the best one I heard was in, I don't remember if it must have been 23. This comedian, he's like, so I just woke up from a coma, 5 years, I put, all my stuff into like what was like the Tom Brady exchange, everything's safe at FTX still, right, guys? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that's always the line, where you lost it. I lost it by throwing, I literally threw away a paper wallet with 50 Bitcoin on it once.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And your brain's not capable of memorizing that stuff.
No. So this was in the days of paper wallets, and I had folded up the paper wallet and I put it in my fifth pocket, my little inside pocket in my pants.
Wow.
And I'd washed my pants without taking it out. And then I pulled it out and I was like, this is going to be too much work pulling this apart and not ripping it, because then if you rip it and you tear it, you're like, you'll have all of that stress. Like I could have had that. Gosh, dang it. Instead, I just literally threw it away because it wasn't going to be worth that stress.
So I'm not trying to show a token or anything to you, but do you know, did you meet the guys from Kekius Maximus at the Bitcoin conference?
The ETH ones or
the ETH ones?
I did not meet them. I saw later on the timeline that they were there.
They are spamming Kekius Maximus all over Elon's Twitter right now. And I'm wondering if these people are the guys from Solana or the ones from ETH.
Yeah. I don't know.
The guys from ETH tried to convince me they're the original ones, though.
I think the ones on ETH are the timeline wise.
That's the one that Elon replied to originally when the guy said change his name on the game.
Yep.
So those are the official guys, but the Solana one, it's just so easy to trade.
It is, it is plain and simple.
I need to talk with those guys, try to get an interview their story as well. But Solana, people make a lot of copies.
Yeah, we had the ETH Kekius Maximus, Kekius Maximus.
Kekius Maximus.
Yeah, we had them on the Mario Nafal show. I got to interview them.
Oh, really?
Fun. Yeah.
All right. So, did you buy any of that ETH Kekius Maximus?
I did.
Okay. I didn't buy the ETH one yet. I kept doing Solana.
And then I provided liquidity for it. And
Solana kept doing okay too.
Yeah. Yep.
So you had those guys on the show.
Yep.
My God. Yeah, their token's still $35 million market cap.
Yeah. My favorite token that I on EVM that I haven't gotten to have on my show yet is what?
Hex.
Hex? No. What? No.
Okay.
I've had Walrus on the show. You know, are you a Pulse Chain man?
Yeah, I like Pulse Chain.
Okay. So I used to do a lot of work with Poor Pleb,
Okay.
Power City, and you know, uh, oh my gosh, why? What is his bastard name?
Poor pleb.
Oh man. Hexy Bastard.
Hetsy bastard. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, and Liquid Loans. But no, what have I Keck, the Balkan Dwarf.
What?
Yeah, Keck the Balkan Dwarf.
I've never heard of that. Maybe you
So
can kick the.
yeah,
You'll have to
K,
send this to me on like Twitter.
so look for him on Twitter. Keck, or here, let's see here. Boop. Window. Boop. Sure. All right. You see this?
It looks like your crime chart.
It is crime chart.
Okay.
But yeah, it is crime chart, but I'm going first to
Let me make it bigger. They're trying to make something a crime right now. What all those young women are doing on social media.
What are they doing?
They're trying to make OnlyFans a crime right now.
Oh. This. Keck, the Balkendorf.
Is that a token?
It is. It's an EVM token. So
what is that guy posting? Are those symbols? Not even letters?
Yeah, they're little videos.
But his name. Let me see his
Balkendorf. Keck on ETH, or Keck ETH is the Twitter handle.
Is that a C?
Yeah, KEKECETH.
I'll check it out. 8,000 followers.
Yep. So I found this token maybe 15 days after it launched. Been it ever since. And this dev, he makes a new video once or twice a day, puts out new content. But yeah, so I found it by sheer accident looking at blockchain explorers. That's, you know, I watch mempools and I watch, you know, on-chain activity, and I that's how I found it in some random wallet, and I was like, what's this? Let's go buy it. And he's been building he puts out content every single day, you know.
Oh, the price already pumped hard and retraced.
Yep. So
it went up like over 3,500%. Wow.
Yep.
$4.2 million market cap. Jesus. Wow, they got a lot of liquidity in there too.
It's got both the ETH and SOL version.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when it sold, all they did was bridge it over. So they didn't make a new token.
Good. I bridged some tokens over to Pulse Chain before.
Yeah.
And then bridged them back to avoid gas fees.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few tokens that had high taxes on Ethereum. I bridged them over to Pulse Chain and traded wallets on the Pulse Chain side, and it completely bypassed the taxes.
Yep.
I don't know if that's intentional or not, but happy I didn't pay those taxes.
Yep. So yeah, no, this is the SOL version of it. You know.
Okay.
Not a lot of token, but it's just you know, you can get out. It's from the actual token supply.
Wormhole. Okay.
Yeah. So, but no, this is one of those stupid memes that I've been in for since the beginning. Yeah.
So when they bridge it over from the wormhole, does it have like proxy contract warnings and stuff for security audit?
No. When it's on Solana, it's a wormhole, and you know.
Okay.
So basically, what you can do is if you buy it on Solana, you can go bridge it back to ETH.
Right.
And yeah.
Because I bridged tokens onto Pulse Chain before, and it's like, okay, this token is a proxy contract. It gives a warning.
That's because they don't have a good block explorer on Pulse Chain for you to go verify a contract.
Unfortunately, Pulse Chain was my worst experience because I launched a token on Pulse Chain.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of my users, like even for the free tokens, we give away tokens to Discord members. It took a long time for them to even like figure out how to add the token to their wallets. It's not very user friendly.
Yep.
They have to import the token contract address. They have to import the Pulse Chain network onto their MetaMask. It's a nightmare. And then one of the pages gets stuck like halfway down.
Yep.
Maybe the guys at Pulse Chain, developers and stuff, will be able to fix a lot of it.
Nope.
Because Richard Hart won the lawsuit against the SEC, so hoping something good comes from that.
He did win the lawsuit, and I will give him props on that.
But the technology seems lacking.
It is.
It seems old. I'm going back in time.
The Pulse Chain community, the majority of the Pulse Chain community are extractors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, not a majority. The ones that are doing all of the like launching and stuff like that, they're just extractors and stuff. And so, yeah, I don't really hang in that, you know. So, I was in Pulse for a while. I had a lot of stuff. I still have stuff locked, I think, that I have to like go unlock and like. But like,
the pools are a nightmare too. Mm-hmm. You have to put the actual contract address in your pools sometimes.
Yep.
Or it cannot find them.
Yep. It's really annoying. So
I almost migrate my whole token to Solana or another chain at one point. Like we had a vote on it, we didn't move it, but it's an idea.
Yeah.
Because as a community token, I did Pulse Chain early on because it was very cheap, and that's when like Solana was like having some tough times.
As a reminder, Solana is still technically in beta.
Yeah, seems like it.
You know, for a chain that's now been launched 5 years, March 2021, so December 2020, I think. Yeah. So it's it's sort of interesting to see, and I think a lot of big stuff is going to come on it.
Well, this was great for you to spend some time with me and talk to me more about yourself and your project Crime.
Yeah.
I hope that you do bond within 5 days. That would be perfect timing.
Hey, it will bond when it needs to.
Maybe the day after GameStop earnings, that would be epic.
That would be epic, There's a lot of, we have a verified Twitter account for it, but it's just in builder mode right now. So keeping the 180 some odd members in the Telegram up to date on things. But my main project, Manifest, we're heading to Singapore next week.
What's in Singapore?
Super AI.
Oh, okay.
So sponsor over at Super AI.
Nice.
And then fly to New York for Permissionless and Solana Solstice. Then fly to Nice for ETHCC.
I don't like those 20-hour flights.
Yeah. I got a 13-hour flight to Istanbul and then like a 10-hour flight to Singapore. And then
that's how I do it. I split it up.
Yeah. So it's sort of fun, And
then when you're in Singapore for your last stop, you can hang around the airport for a little while.
I'll be in Singapore for I arrive officially. I leave on the 14th and I arrive officially on the 16th. And then I leave on the 21st and I arrive in New York on the 22nd. and then I'm in New York until the 27th, and then I fly to Paris. Well, not Paris, but to Nice. Yeah.
So for the ladies out there, are you single?
We don't talk about these things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No ring, but there's no
Okay.
way. Yeah. Yeah. No.
You look like a YouTuber named Dan Hurd.
Well, thank you.
He's a rock prospector.
Okay.
He's got the long beard like you.
Nice. There was someone else that people were comparing me to. I forget his name.
Seth Rogen?
No. It was like Dylan something. I don't know. Rhodes? I don't know. But yeah, it was sort of funny. So yeah.
Dylan Rhodes?
Rhodes? I don't know.
I don't see that one.
It's another crypto Twitter guy.
Okay.
So, yeah. So yeah. But yeah, no. Ladies, you can find me at a conference.
Well, I was gonna say there's not many ladies at conferences.
There's tons of ladies at conferences.
Not the rooms I was at last time.
Man, there was a lot of women at the so there was 30,000 people there,
Right.
and there was like 10,000 of them were women.
Really? I didn't see them.
Because what were you looking at, man?
I didn't see any women there. I only saw guys.
Why are you only looking at the guys?
I only took one picture of one woman while I was there.
What?
Yep.
Why? Well, instead of taking a picture, how come you didn't say hi to the other 9,999?
I didn't go to that woman speech. I think there's like a special room for the women in Bitcoin or something.
They were all on the floor. They were all over.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll have to check next time. I missed it.
When I'm in a conference, I'm there for work.
Well, when I was there, I was with Ron a lot, and then I went to the well pass room. There's some women in there, but not an astounding amount compared to the men.
Yep.
And in the general area, whew, a lot of those people they are in crypto, but they're with mining or stuff like that.
Yep. So yeah, man.
But yeah, I was there for networking too. So
yeah, same. This was a fun time. Thank you for having me on, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hopefully, have a good night. Are you going to go on Twitter Spaces or anything tonight?
Yep, I have my daily show, Taco Bites, your daily bite of DGen.
All right.
That's probably in about 2-3 hours.
Cool. I'll probably try to tune in if I'm still awake.
Yeah, and we broadcast live to LinkedIn, 2 YouTube channels, Twitch, Twitter, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, on-chain via Abstract, and on-chain via Arena.
I'll check it out. I do have your Twitter page in the description if anybody wants to check you out and then find all your other links.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll be streaming the Pump Fun.
Oh, cool.
So
I'll put your ets link in the YouTube chat again.
All right.
Well, have a good night, Taco.
Tim, you have a good night too, man.
Peace out.
Bye.